Hello! It has been a while since I've done anything like this. A really fucking long time. And it's been a long time since I've done anything like this representing someone. Say hi, KG.
Hi, KG. It's been it's been what, almost a year since we've done something like this?
I think it's been almost 2 years,
Whew.
technically. It's been it's been a while. But
Yeah.
this is for good reason. This is for good reason, and this is one of the reasons we a long time ago I made anime watch club stuff like that. And the primary reason why I made it is because I wanted to do stuff with KG, but work and everything else like that, and stupid bullshit online, it just never seemed to
Family,
really
everything.
family, life changing events, so on and such forth,
Yep.
yada 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 yada.
I
But
mean,
anyways,
pretty much since last we did this, uh Cassie and I got engaged, and if all goes according to plan, in the next month or two, we should be tying the knot.
woo! And since then, I've gotten married, and I've got a little rugrat.
Well, I wouldn't
So
really call him a rugrat, considering you described how he's growing like a weed. By the time he's 5, he's going to be looking down at Dad, going, "Are you sure you want to spank me there, Pop?" You know.
I wouldn't doubt that. But
Yeah.
no,
However, Captain Hook will be like, "It doesn't matter. I had you for 9 months. I can take you out, and that'll put him straight."
yep, yep, yep.
Yeah,
Mama
I've met
knows
your wife.
best.
No. Uh-uh.
Yeah. But anyways, I know we've talked about this before on videos that don't exist no more, so we'll just kind of go back into it a little bit. It's probably on a stream or two that's on this channel, but I'm not gonna tell you what stream it is because I don't remember, and there's so many of them. Good luck. But no, me and KG met a long time ago in a Galaxy 4 way.
And what? It was like 2018 or something like that we first met.
2018 is when we first met. We met
Yeah.
because of Antron and a show that we were doing, and you hopped on, and I remember that show. I remember that specific episode specifically because you hopped on, and I was talking with you and Antoine, Jess, and we were just in there talking. All of a sudden, I am Oh, I know what it was. I know exactly what it was. You know what it is because you actually have it now. Because you made comment of a model I had hanging up on the back wall of my
Yep.
computer room. And
Yeah. The Battloid form of the SDF-1 Macross. Yep. I remember that.
yeah, and that sparked a fucking 8 hour conversation. I still kick my ass for to this day of why we didn't fucking record it because that was golden content. Just talking about all different types of mech animes and shows, and just
Yeah.
geeking the fuck out. And that's how I met this man. And later on from there, I decided. Well, actually, we kind of figured that we might be related. So it's like, fuck it, we'll just call each other
Close enough.
brothers.
Yep. Yeah, because I remember we were talking. The other two had logged off, went to bed, got back up,
You're
walked
still
into the living
talking.
room where I was still talking to you, and they were just like, "Are you still talking to Sparky?" It's like, "Yeah, this guy's awesome. How could you not talk to him?" And years later, here we are,
Yeah,
still talking about mechs and shit.
specifically because this is actually really special. Because not only it was the Macross model, the battle formed, I think 1/3000 scale,
Yeah,
that you pinpointed, and then we saw you geeking out about. I remember I actually sent that to you for a Christmas present,
yeah,
and I believe you still haven't a box, haven't assembled it yet, but life, walking, all that other good stuff. But
yeah. The interesting thing is it's actually a fairly complex build, and it's got a lot of detail. and it's one of those when, not if, but when I do build it, oh yeah, I'm gonna give it all the love she deserves.
Because it's
Make
also one
sure
of those. It's one of those models. It's not like Gunpla Kit. It's not like, okay, we'll give you the color coded plastic pieces and make it somewhat match, and then you can detail it and stuff like that. The Gunpla models are put together, and you just throw the stickers on and stuff like that if you wanted to, and you got yourself a pretty decent looking model. The extreme people, kind of like yourself and others, will go for actually detail it, actually repaint the plastic stuff like that. This model is actually just a light, flat gray. So every detail will have to be painted on this.
Yeah. And if you know what you're doing, you can do some dry brushing on it, stuff like that, and really make those details pop.
Yeah, and if you're even clever enough, you can make battle damage one.
Yep.
But
And yeah,
hmm?
things like that is at this moment in time above my skill level, but at
In
this
the
moment in
future.
time, oh yeah,
But that brings us to this. What are we doing today? We are
we,
actually since
yeah,
we since we brought that up and brought that little backstory up. I actually didn't even think about that when I hit record. It fits nicely into what we're doing now. We are going to be watching, and it's not going to be a first time reaction, folks. We've seen this thousands of
it may
fucking
have been a
times.
while, but at least for
Yeah,
some of us, it's been a while.
yeah. We're actually going to be watching Macross Plus. Not the OVA, the movie, and there was differences. Um, and the reason why we're doing Macross Plus, because as they were recording this, which is the 22nd, when everyone out there's gonna be watching it's the 25th, August 25th, 2024. And the reason why that date means something is because Macross Plus came out August 25th, 1994.
Yep.
So technically, it is its 30-year anniversary, and there's actually another cherry on top of that, because within this movie, you never see the Macross until like towards the end of the movie. Like I believe it's like if you're watching the OVA, it's the beginning
It's
of
in the
OVA
last,
3. It's
yeah, the
it's the
last
beginning of
OVA.
OVA 3. OVA 3 is when you actually finally get to... The movie's called Macross, but if you're watching OVA, you don't get to see it until like the third episode of the 4-part OVA. And as they're doing it, it is the 30-year armistice. I can't fucking say that.
Armistice.
Armistice, yeah. It's the 30-year armistice of I believe, the war that happened between the Earth and the Zentradi. That nearly wiped out the fucking population of the planet if you watched the first movie.
Yeah.
So, and for any diehard fanboys, we know that Plus is not in continuity to the actual movie or Robotech, but we get it, we know.
It's if you and the thing is, and this is something that I've discussed with many a person. If you look at the design of the Macross, the SDF-1, what do you want to call her, in this film, series, show, she matches the SDF-1 from Do You Remember Love?
Yes.
Because
The
the arms aren't the Daedalus and Prometheus, the ocean going vessels, the Blue Navy. They are
they
actually ARMD uh,
space
vessels,
space battle
kind of
fortress,
carriers.
yeah, yeah. Space
Uh,
battle carriers.
yeah, and those were attached to her on Do You Remember Love?
Mm-hmm. So we know the continuity, we know the story behind it. The closest continuity you're gonna get to any of the movies is gonna be Macross You Remember Love, 2012 flashback OVAs, which is just music videos set after the movie, kind of detailing the launch of the SDF-3. And then you have Macross Plus, which is its own little side shoot story. and then it goes over into Macross II, which is like 80 years. See, this is 30 years after the first movie. Macross II is supposed to be 80 years, 85 years. I can't remember which one, but 80, 85 years after the first movie. We know that none of the timelines are congruent. It's just a different set reality. Each movie is a standalone movie. But just kind of get a feel of what was supposed to take place. That's how it works. We know that. But it's funny because we're gonna be releasing this on the 30th year anniversary of the show, and the show itself is the 30th year armistice of when it landed back on Earth, and it's also what brought us together.
Yeah, one quick correction. The in the fuck, it's not the SDF 3, it's the SDF 2 Mega Road 1.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Robotech on that one. You're right.
Thinking the Robotech Macross, or just Macross Saga, which had an SDF2 that got destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Mega Road 1, also known as SDF2, was lost during its colonization.
Yes.
Yeah, slowly but surely, my Macross history is starting to come back.
Yeah. Now, I've seen fan theories because it's not fully explained within the movie, and the writers of the movie doesn't say anything about it and stuff like that. But it's actually speculated, I've heard, from rumors and just fan theories, that I believe the set planet Eden, which the Macross Plus takes place, because it takes place on two places, Eden and Earth. And Eden is actually the place where the SDF2 actually colonized in a congruent reality.
Well, there's also fan theories that a SDF unit ended up in the Palladium Rifts RPG.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't you also tell me that there may have been one in Eureka 7?
Yes, there's little tangent on that one, but Eureka 7, Eureka 7, whichever one you want to call it, is a 50 episode show, and nothing was shown within the actual show. There's no. I'm not gonna go into the base story of Eureka 7, but I will go into this. Earth was abandoned. They searched for a new place. They settled on the planet that they're on and repopulated. And that's that. They don't go into the backstory within the actual show, but lo and behold, hey, it's actually Earth. And the movie, Pocket Full of Rainbows. Yeah, the movie's called Pocket Full of Rainbows, which is actually kind of a retelling of the story. It's a different continuity. They throw in there, about the recolonization, and the cool thing is they actually named the ship of the recolonization. The ship's name was the Mega Road, which at first when I watched the movie it didn't hit, but when I watched the movie a second time I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah,
which actually
13 Mega Road class colonization ships.
I don't remember the specifics on that one, but yeah, whenever I heard that, I'm like, oh shit. And if you actually combine what in Eureka 7, what the Corallians are, they actually kind of represent or kind of mimic the Invid from the Robotech series. Yeah, Next Generation. So
for those who want to know the Japanese title, it was Genesis Climber Mospeada.
Which for anyone
which actually was the name of the motorcycles.
Yes, which actually wasn't anything to do with fucking Macross or Robotech. They Super Mario Brothers 2'd it.
Yeah, same thing with the Southern Cross. It had nothing to do with protoculture or anything like that. It was a totally different thing.
Whenever I seen whenever I seen the second version of that, which I you just said the name, I completely forgot it. Just whoop,
Southern Cross.
Southern Cross, yeah. Whenever I saw for the Southern Cross, I never really got the vibe of anything Robotech. Because you see Robotech and it's futuristic. You see Southern Cross, it kind of goes backwards. It's not really futuristic. It's like medieval futuristic. And then when you go to Mospita, it goes back into that futuristic. And it's
Yeah,
I actually thought of it like advanced Saint Seiya whenever I saw Southern Cross. That was my feeling of watching this. Advanced Saint Seiya.
yeah, because the things that they actually cut out in Southern Cross had to do with like the fact that the planet they were on had twin suns and stuff like that. It's
Yeah, was enough.
yeah, it was. I was impressed with what they did and how they did it, but yeah, for me, Southern Cross never really felt like a true continuation of Macross.
It was a cool story spin off that they did on it. I mean,
Yeah,
to come up with, I mean, you had to be really clever to adapt a completely different story into a story and actually kind of make it fit. But for those who like it, I'm gonna say right now, I really hate the terminology. And it's actually something that like Eureka 7 suffers with is terminology, especially terminology differences when you're watching the Japanese subs compared to the English dub, on how they change it. Because I know I've explained this to you a couple different times, but it's the fact that when you watch the Macross movies and then you watch Robotech, there's a common theme that comes up: protoculture,
hmm
protoculture. Now, within the movie sphere, protoculture is basically the name of the civilization. It was the
yep,
civilization before all else. And in the movie franchise, humans, Zentradi, Meltrandi were all the same species. They're all made from the same base template from which I don't even remember what they were called. I believe ancients or Zoa, because of Zoa's battle fortress within the show, and he was part of the race that made the Zentradi, the Meltrandi, and the humans. And its protoculture was referred to that civilization.
yeah.
But in the
Because
shows,
remember in the movie, the Zentradi got into the Macross, saw
it's
a
protoculture.
male and a female, and he was freaking out because it's like it's protoculture because in the movie, Do You Remember Love, the Meltron and the Zeltron or Zeltron, so yeah,
Zentradi.
Zentradi. Yeah, I just called them the
Zen,
horniest
yeah,
beings in Star Wars.
Zentradi and Meltrandi.
Yeah, we're at war with each other.
Yeah,
So the idea of a man and a woman together, it just blew their frickin' mind.
yeah. But if you
Like,
watch, yeah, but if you watch the actual show and you hear the word protoculture, they're not referring to that. They refer to protoculture as a power source.
yeah, that came from the flower of life, which belonged to the Invid that Zora Prime stole. The Invid got pissed off. They went from peaceful to hyper aggressive. La di da this, la di da that, and there's Death, Destruction, Carnage, and different shows out now.
Yeah, which I can't remember if it was Macross 7 Delta. I think it was Macross Delta. Macross Delta is the only show so far to make kind of a congruent timeline involving all the shows to make it make sense. And they reference Robotech, they reference Southern Cross, they reference Mospita, they reference Macross Plus, they reference Do You Remember Love, they also reference yeah, I always said plus. But yeah, they reference all this stuff, and they actually kind of make a congruent timeline. At least try to. Folks, this is what happens when you let your IP fall into different people's hands and they can tell whatever story they want. Don't do what George Lucas did. Fuck.
Well, if I remember correctly, the original creator of Macross really just kind of was like, and we're done with this. Let's move on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was just one of those, okay, so the guy who made this show just kind of went, okay, and with 2012, here's the main characters that you knew and loved. Yay! What happened to them? Fuck, I don't know. I don't care. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Which
I
was
think.
which was actually it was really fun watching because you see Lisa piloting the mega road. You see him and May getting on it, and going back into space and all that other good stuff to be
Yeah, you
lost
see,
forever.
yeah, Rick, as he's known in Robotech, in a VF4 Lightning 3 Valkyrie.
Yep.
Yeah, so there was I know it may sound kind of like I'm talking shit a little bit, but I really am not. I love the IP to death. It's the amount of, it got me to meet Sparky and so forth, but just in general, the love and history that I have with this IP is insane. It's like on par with the old Star Wars for me.
Which actually, we can move into this last topic and then we can go into the actual show. Just hold on, people. We're gonna get there. But the last one is gonna be how did we come across this show? How did we come across and I could just limit it down to Macross Plus itself because that's what we're getting ready to watch. Or I can if you want to explain just in general, you can. I'll go first because it's really simple for me. I got I watched Macross Plus for the first time way back in the 90s. I was a kid. I was a kid that had access to the satellite remote. And I wasn't watched too well. And way back in the day, because of how the satellite was, stuff like that, we had access to stores and stuff like that. And one of the favorite channels I watched was the store's action channel. And every week, or even every weekend, they'd show a type of anime. Now, let me kind of preference this to you. This was before Toonami came out. This is before anime really kind of got big in the West. This was a niche thing. This was not big in the United States way back when this happened. I mean, it was big. It was out there. It was known, but it's not like it is today or what it was back in like the late 90s and 2000s. So, my first experiences with Macross was stumbling across it. And for the longest time, I never got to watch the full show. And I always kind of stumbled in the middle of whenever the wreck happened with Samu, or whenever the Macross shows up. I've never really got to watch it from the beginning. I think the closest I got from the beginning is when the Riot 19 actually finally came out. But that's how I stumbled across the show, was because of Saul's Action Channel. I got to see a lot of cool shows because of that. Because I got to see watch Van Red when it came out. I got to watch Hellsing when it came out. One of the ones that really stood out to me was like Vampire Hunter D and Battle Angel Alita. I got to watch shows like that on that channel, and that's how I came across it. And I really liked Macross. Because I like the mech. I like the mech series. And then later on after that, Toonami finally started coming out. And then what did they have on Toonami? They had Gundam. Gundam Marine, actually. That's what they started out with Gundam Marine. And then they started showing out a bunch of other shows. And one show that stood out to me the most that I liked was Robotech. Unfortunately, my child brain and my fucking attention span, I never put two and two together until way later on. I was like, oh, wait a sec. That show I liked, Macross Plus and Macross II, that I got to watch on the Source channel, is actually related to this show. So that's kind of my history with Macross Plus. And it's actually, Macross Plus and Macross 2 is actually one of the first two anime I ever got to watch growing up. And it's kind of what got me hooked into it. So to me, it's a sentimental value. For many of other reasons, because I got to meet good friends and make memories and shit like that. So, KG, your turn.
Oh God, here's where I date myself. So my first time with Robotech Macross was when it was first being released on TV. My eldest brother, who's 10 years my senior, was still living at home. He wasn't married, none of that. We would watch Robotech together, you know, and because he's always been fascinated by flight and anything that's big and highly destructive, I've always been behind. And we fell in love with the VF-1 Valkyrie, or Veritex as they're also being called. And that led me down the road of the highly cut and extremely bastardized and poorly dubbed Do You Remember Love at a VHS shop rental, and the name of the movie was Clash of the Bionoids.
You know, let me stop you right there. Because I have that VHS too. But what it
Oh,
wasn't Clash of the Bionoids. It was actually named Macross, but it was still a fucking shit dub.
oh yeah,
I think they
because
just took the name and swapped it around. You know, they swapped the name around and just kept the dubbing in it.
yeah, that was we watched that. It's like the artwork and everything is fantastic. The music spot on. The voices sounded like that they were like through some sort of weird electronic translator. It was nuts.
It was 80s.
Oh yeah. But that led me down the path of Robotech, cool. Macross, cool. And it was actually a buddy of mine who sat me down and went, KG, you got to watch this. I'm like, what are we watching? He goes, it's called Macross Plus. It just came out. I'm like, dude, let's do this. And we watched the OVAs. And as Sparky knows, if there's a little tune or something like that in something that I watch, I have a notorious habit of tracking down the soundtracks and getting my hands on anything and everything I can of the music. I'm a music whore.
This guy. If you're looking for anime music and you've looked all over the net, I cannot find this fucking song, and just fucking bugs ever loving fuck out of you. This guy is better than trying to find drugs on the fucking black market.
Yeah, I've got like 200 gigs of music. It's insane.
Hey, I need this song. Oh, hang on. Give me an email address. Why? I'm gonna send you something. Oh, you had it?
Yeah, here's the full album. Who loves you, brother? But though it's like the artwork and everything like that, the story, captivated me when it came to Macross Plus. But it was the music that constantly will spark my passion for this show. Because Sharon Apple, even though she's supposedly an AI, the music and what they came up with for her style, her genre, if you will.
Information High is my favorite.
Oh, I know. It is that is like one of the when anyone asks which one of your favorite songs of all time, Information High is 100% always going to be the top 5.
Yeah.
And even after all these years, I can still hear that intro and get goosebumps.
Yeah. Well, and It's this is a lot of music composure is done by Yoko Kanno, which if you're watching this and you're
Yep.
anime buff and you don't know what Yoko Kanno is, mind correct yourself because you deserve it.
Yeah, she did. If you're a Cowboy Bebop fan, Yoko Kano should be the name you know. And the Seatbelts, I think was the name of her band, Yoko Kano and the Seatbelts, because they did all the music for that. They also did Escaflowne,
Escaflowne was one of my favorites.
uh, Noir. I think she did Noir.
I believe
I mean, it's
they've
the
done
music
they've done a
a lot.
lot of music.
Video games, stuff like that. I mean, and she's all over the place when it comes to her genre. So if you need jazz, she can do jazz. If you need synth metal, she's got you covered. It's if this is your first time, look her up. You will not be disappointed. I guarantee it.
Yeah, and if you know Yoko Kanno, if you look through the works that they done for anime, and it just narrowed it down to anime. Pokoroso is one of the first ones that she done. Macross Plus was the third one, and Macross Plus, along with the Vision of Escaflowne, is what really kind of put her on the map, along with Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop really just kind of threw it out there.
Yeah.
But they've done songs, um, a lot of the Macross Frontier, Macross Dynamite 7.
Yeah.
Uh, she done Ton of Gundam. She's done Ghost in the Shell. She's done, and actually, I never really
That's
knew
right.
this
She did
until
do Ghost in
now.
the Shell too.
Yeah, I've never really knew this either. She done the ending theme to Oban Star Racers, not the English dub one from XD Disney, but because a lot of people don't know, XD Disney kind of got into the habit of, hey, Cartoon Network and Toonami's doing this, let's get into this, but they kind of got some off the wall shows to do because like two shows that I know of now that I didn't know whenever I seen them back when I was a kid. um Shinjo, Shinzo and Oban Star Racers were actually Japanese anime, but they were so cartoon like that when they put the English dubbing behind it, everyone thought that was an English show when it's actually Japanese. So whenever I found out Oban Star Racers was in actual Japanese, I looked it up, and I'll tell you what, the music's a lot better, and I can see why. You know what Disney had the goal to do? Remove the fucking music from it.
That is heresy beyond words.
Yeah,
I
but yeah. Anyways,
yeah.
continue
I
on.
can't even.
Continue on.
No.
Yeah, yeah. Continue on because I got you off talking about music.
But yeah, it's one of those that it was my first wife and I used to watch it. My buddies and I mean, we for those of you who may not have known, but for the longest time, Palladium Games actually had the rights to a Robotech um, RPG, and there were sites upon sites where you could find conversions for these different series to the system, and I ran more than my fair share of Macross related games, and it was always, all right, so what do you want to do? And they'd be like, well, I want a VF-19 or I want a VF-22. So it always went back to the production models of the prototypes from the show because they were so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah. The Max is, and I know there's a rights battle, um, between a lot of the actual assets, and a lot of people, and this is not really well known, but like in the actual Robotech series, people always kind of wonder, why does the Macross look like that? Why does it look so different from the movie? Because the movie came. So, if anyone didn't know, Macross Do Remember Love and Macross II all came out before Macross Plus. They also came out
Mhm.
before Robotech did, because I believe Robotech came out like late 90s. Or not late 90s, early 90s, late 80s. 84,
Oh,
84, 85 actually, I think is when Robotech came out. But there was a sort of a rights issue even with that, because I believe
March
this
4th, 1985. I was 10 years old.
10 years old. Um, but yeah, there was actually a rights issue. And so if you notice in Robotech, the SDF1 of the Macross, it's not the SDF1 is not called Macross. It's called SDF1. That was its name in the show. That's always what's been called, was SDF1. The only thing that
Hmm.
really made it Macross is because it was made in Macross, well, it was rebuilt on Macross Island, in the middle of Macross City, that the city popped up around building this, and then they moved the
Yeah.
city within the ship whenever the fold accident happened, when they transported the entire island into fucking outer space.
Yeah,
But
out to Pluto.
yeah, talk about a oops. But the funny thing is, you look at the SD. If you look at the Macross, and I guess we better start calling it the right way, or have fans of the show yelling
Oh,
at
come
us,
on.
and
They're fans
and
of this show. Dude, bite me.
yeah, I know. But in the movie, it's called Macross, and the show is called SDF1.
Yeah.
Or if you're just us, we call it the SDF1 Macross. But it's gray. In the show, it's like an all kind of differing colors of gray, between a dark gunmetal gray and a light like AT-AT, or
It's
uh
more, the color scheme is more like of a traditional blue navy vessel. It's in grays and stuff like that.
yeah,
Whereas in Robotech,
it's
it's white
blue
and
and
blue.
white. Yeah, and it's not linked up to the armed units. It's linked up to the two vessels within the show, and
Yep.
they made a good tie-in to the story, but they had to change the design of the Macross a little bit because of rights issues. Now, if you notice in the show, they do have the armed units. They get blown up in space, though.
Yeah.
They couldn't attach the armed units because of rights and stuff like that for the show.
They were, if I remember correctly, in Robotech, they were in process of linking up when Zentradi showed up and just shot the hell out of them.
Yes. And because they transported the Prometheus and the Daedalus in space, yeah, we reverse engineered everything so it all links up perfectly.
Yeah, it's Dr. Lang magic or
Yeah,
robotechnology.
yeah, it's protoculture.
Yeah.
But yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, that's the reason why they're so different. But within this, I've stated this before. We're watching the movie now. KG's watched the movie. He's also watched the OVAs. I've only watched the
Mhm.
OVAs, or OVA movie versions, which is just the
The edited
intro.
together.
Yeah, it's all edited together for show on satellite, because they didn't have the movie version. Now, the movie version, I've not watched the whole thing, but I do know things about it. I know there's a lot of add-in scenes that's not in the OVA. Um, I think I think it should. You can make clever edits. I believe you can make, if somebody was to go in and actually make clever edits, they could probably edit out all the changes within this movie, put it into the OVA, and still have the length and the story duration of the OVA, and make an entirely different movie that's better. Because the OVA does lack some stuff, and that's kind of the trade off. The OVA, you get a longer story, but it's really kind of watered down. But in the movie, you get a richer story and richer background, but it's a shorter runtime. I
It's kind of like
believe.
with the Gundams, where they'll make 3 movies out of a 50-plus episode series. Things kind of get jumbled, things get edited, other things get moved around, and sometimes things get added that make it better. And sometimes you get a movie that you're watching and you're like, what the? Did I just miss? I blinked. Did I miss a plot point?
Yes, yes. No, it's exactly like that. But we've been yapping for so long, people are gonna be driven away by this. So we probably just need to go ahead and get into the movie.
No, either that or you can put in the description. If you don't want to hear 2 jackholes, sit there and talk, jump to here to listen to the movie.
But where's the fun in that?
I don't know. False hope.
Alright. So let's go ahead and get. Alright, let's go ahead. All simmer down now. Let's go ahead and get into this. Okay, now, before we go into watching this movie, I would state the lines I used to state a long time ago. But one, I don't have the recording no more. And two, I don't fucking remember them. So, yeah, this is React content. This is fair use. Blah 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 blah.
Wait, you actually got
Yeah,
rid of Robo Sparky?
yeah. Well, so had a little incident beginning of the year. This year, I had to wipe the entire computer out, and I still have it. I just don't know where the actual original recording is to put it back onto soundboard.
Okay, gotcha.
So he's still
So
around.
he still exists somewhere.
Just dust on him.
I don't know. Maybe you could have Medicers read it for you.
I've actually done that.
That doesn't surprise me.
Which, oh yeah, funny reference. I do a bunch of AI covers and AI songs of like Pepper, Medica, and a couple other people online, and have a entire channel dedicated to AI Medica. We can have him talk and say stuff, and it sounds just like him. Yeah, I'm technically like the people who created Sharon Apple, and for funny reference on that, I know it'll come up in the movie. But there's parts in this movie where um Mune has to puppet Sharon because she's not a complete AI. I have to do that with the Medica avatar whenever he scenes. That's me puppeting it with its voice. So, shocker, I've actually lived Macross Plus reality. Okay.
So when the overlords begin, remember, Sparky's part of the reasons why we're here.
Hashtag Sparky did it. And instead of hashtag pin did it, it's hashtag.
Yeah, instead of hashtag Penn did it.
No, it's
Sparky
hashtag. It's Pin's fault. It's hashtag. It's Sparky's fault. Okay, starting.
Right, let's do this.
Yeah, starting in 3, 2, 1, go. And I'll chip up whenever I see differences from the OVA, and as usual, just commentate wherever you want to commentate at.
Oh,
We're
don't
probably
worry.
we're gonna do a lot of commentating probably. I always loved this opening.
God, I remember that open right there.
Dedicated to all pioneers. Which this was a love letter to fans.
God, I still remember this tune.
Same here.
And like I said, this is something that I used to listen to a lot when it came out in the mid to late 90s. Not so much lately, but when I was talking about my love for the music, this is, straight up, it's been almost 2 decades, and I still remember parts. There she is.
Sharon Apple.
Yep. Mm.
Funny enough, this is kind of like what Miku is.
Yeah.
Neuros. Oh my god, can you imagine Neuros almost like this?
No, not really. Well, there's the YF-22.
21.
Oh, that's right. It became the VF-22 stern vocal.
Yep.
Gold,
Gold Ball Bowman.
Chief Bowman.
Cheap Bowman. Always loved the concept of the YF-21.
Yeah.
This is this is Jaeger-Tech before Jaeger-Tech became a thing in the Pacific Rim movies.
Well, this is like in Gundam, they have a panoramic cockpit. This is like that, but like amped up.
Yeah. Me
Pretty
fly the pan.
badass.
It's like me fly the plane. Please, I'll become the plane.
I am the plane.
It's like literally as a showcase in it.
Yeah, and the designs of these things are just so awesome.
This was all hand animated, and it looks better than anything comes out today. This is back when animation was considered a art and religion.
God, if I remember correctly, according to the OVAs, I think all this took place later on in the series.
It does.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, this technically was before her concert on Eden.
No, before the concert. Actually, yeah, you're right. Before the concert on Eden.
Yeah,
So I misheard you there. I'm like, off? No, yeah, Eden.
yeah.
Well, and they're cutting a lot of meat out, and this is the differences you're
Oh,
gonna see.
okay. Yeah, here's a big part because they just talked about. Right now, they're talking about Isamu Dyson, who's the 19 pilot.
Yeah,
Well, in the in the OVAs, we already saw what. Oh God, yeah, they cut out an entire section of when he's flying the VF-11 Thunderbolt up against a bunch of malcontents,
yeah.
and they're being ordered back, and one of the guys is about to be attacked. And this is when we find out that the guns on these things now are equipped with bayonets.
And he being Natson.
Yeah, when when Dyson first shows up, and yeah, the wife, the 19 was when he showed up had crashed,
Yeah,
and oh my God, yeah, they've
they cut out a lot of, and this is why I was explaining. It would have
yeah
been nice with a longer story, but they're cutting this down for a movie format, and they add stuff in this that's not in the OVA.
yeah because they also before the 19 was prepped, he was in a VF-11 chase plane that had boosters, and his job was to keep track with the 21.
And he couldn't.
And well, he could. He just technically got shot down in the process.
Yeah, basically they're stepping in on OVA 2.
Yeah, this is pretty much where they're starting off.
OVA 2, and then they cut back into OVA 1. They cut and splice things.
Oh God, yeah, this is when he's doing the skywriting.
The, oh fuck, what was the name of that thing?
The something the giant something bird or something like that.
A, him driving the
Now,
computer node. Crazy.
yeah, because that's his temporary love interest, the blonde.
Yeah. Technically, is love interest right now in the OVA, but in the movie has not been established yet.
Yeah. Now I can say this, and this is one of the few shows I say such things about. But the dubbed version of this is also top notch.
Yes.
And for anyone who did get a chance to see the now long gone Anime Watch Club, I am very much an opponent to dubs.
Yeah. I'm starting getting more into subs now, so.
There is something to be said about hearing the voice actor that they're like, I choose you.
They don't have that landing in the
Nope.
OVA. Because I think he was just up in the air and then they cut out of it.
Yep.
This is an add-in scene.
Yeah, because this wasn't in the OVAs. Bowman. He's a badass character.
And for anyone who watches the OVAs, they've already met in
Yeah.
the OVA. He had a fake leg?
Yep.
I never noticed that. If it was, well, it may not be in the OVA either.
I think it was because I do remember him playing with his leg.
Every time I watch this, it just reminds me of Top. This is so Top Gun-esque. I guarantee the makers of Macross Plus got inspiration from fucking Top Gun.
Okay, this part actually is from the OVA as well, or at least very similar. Yeah, I think
Thinking
the
the
dub he actually goes faster,
faster,
right?
faster, right? Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
way to say that. Hey, it's chicken cows. I forgot about the chicken cows.
Yep, the original Roughneck.
Oh, that music.
Is that Borderline?
Nah, I don't
No,
remember.
Fussy Fuss. It's not Sante You.
It's the second
Is it?
song in the concert.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
I don't think
And if
that part of the
anyone's
show was
wondering,
in.
I'm usually complete ass when it comes to remembering titles.
Some of this stuff was some stuff added. I don't remember skating through the alleyway with the graffiti because they made this place look clean.
Mm-hmm. Was it Idle Talk?
I think it is Idle Talk.
Yeah, I think it was Idle Talk. Yeah, I remember in the OVAs at one point he's talked about yeah, the manager would like to adopt her as his own daughter or some cheesy line like that.
Mm-hmm. This is an add-in scene.
Yeah.
That's a funny
Yeah, look at
line.
that architecture. That is just so cool.
And the iconic Windmill Hill scene.
Yeah.
What was that called? Memorial Hill, I think.
I think that was Memorial Hill. Yeah, there it is.
Pterosaur?
Yeah, he mentioned it was a giant pterosaur or something like that.
Yeah.
Weird parrot seagull thing.
Parrot, seagull, pterodactyl. Its wingspan is like a pterodactyl's.
Yeah, if I remember, Gould is half
Yeah, he's half
Zentradi.
Zentradi and half human.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the things I love about this is the fact that they have like the chicken cow things, the birds we just saw, and it's one of those things that you can look at and go, okay, I can kind of see what they are, but they're still very unique for the planet.
Virtuoids.
Yeah.
Not into. Oh my god, times have changed. Back in the 90s, that was a figment of the future imagination that was probably never going to happen. Look
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, now we've got things like Miku Hatsume.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am not Englishing well.
Miku Hatsume, you got New Osama, and you got a couple other ones.
Yeah. And a couple of psycho guys could sit down and go, "Hey, I'm going to take these two YouTubers and make them have a duet."
Yeah, welcome. Yes, I did that.
Yes, you did. In the OVAs, wasn't his skin a lot more had a lot more of a green tone to it?
It was more like a grayish
Yeah, a
brown.
lot more of like the Zentradi skin
Yeah.
tone. Oh,
He looks like a Native American in this. Well, even in the OVA,
yeah.
Gold's looks like a Native American.
And that is not a diss on his appearance for that is 100% not a diss on his appearance.
I'm Cherokee. I can do it.
Yeah, same here. Despite the fact that you could look at me and go, "Oh, damn, this is a pale face." One of the things I also really enjoy about Macross Plus compared to some of the other Macross series is it is so much more character driven than it is combat.
There's a lot of, I would say melodrama, but it's really well fleshed out and really adds emphasis to the story.
Yeah, because a lot of what happens is actually necessary for the story to move along.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not, well, this happened because of this, and you know that sort of blah blah blah. Oh yeah.
They're mixing in stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember right, when the concert happened, Samu didn't have the Y of 19 yet.
Yeah, I don't think so. Now, to backtrack a little bit, the weapon that was attached on the 19 that blew up the Mac 2, the big walking gun turret thing.
Yep.
This is my one complaint about this show. We never see that weapon ever again.
It's too powerful.
Yeah, I mean, it blew up basically the equivalent of a walking 16-inch gun platform.
That buckles concrete beneath it.
Yeah, it's like 100 tons, manned by 3 people. I mean, it's an absolute beast of a machine. And he one-shotted it with this thing.
Yeah, you see it move up in the show. It just, it's like, all right, we're moving out. The people who's in charge of maintenance of the flooring of the deck carriers are like, God damn it.
Oh, and another part that got cut out that was actually important was he didn't get shot down by the missiles when he was working with the 21. He caught him because for some reason the 21 lost control, and
Gold
he had
lost mental focus. He regained. He got caught by not the 19, but the chaser plane.
yeah, he
And
was in the VF-11, and he had a stray thought of all I got to do is just down a little bit, and he could cause that Isamu's plane to crash,
yeah,
and that's what happened. The if I don't know if it was actually mentioned in the OVA, but one of the problems with one of the reasons why he's popping pills and stuff like that is because the 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 brain interface device was tuned for a human pilot, and with his Zentradi thought process and everything like that, it wasn't cued properly to him.
it's like they're even cutting out half of the concert.
Yeah, and that's some of the best part.
Yeah, I know. Because it starts out with the pop music,
Mm-hmm.
and then escalates and goes into the psychedelic one.
And the little nerdy guy who keeps calling Isamu a barbarian
Yeah,
was hacking into shit. You can see him kind of right now. Yeah, he was supposed to be hacking in, and when she looks at him, she sees Isamu and kind of deviates from the nerd to Isamu. Yep, that's right.
oh, there it is.
Okay, there we go.
We're thinking wrong parts.
Well, again, it's spliced and jumbled. It's after being used to watching the OVA as much as we have, it
Brainwash Pulse.
yeah. I don't think they ever actually said anything like that in the OVA.
They never did. Now, Sharon's face and the way she looks in this reminds me of something from Serial Experiments Lane.
Yeah, now that you mention it.
Yeah, she reminds me of Lane.
Oh, there he is.
Some Apple Watch you got there.
I'm not kidding.
You're hacking into Sharon Apple with the Apple Watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh.
Okay, so they didn't cut that out. They actually did put that in there. Okay, I stand corrected.
It's like, are you bragging now?
Okay, Yeah, it looks like they did cut out the part where, or am I talking out of my ass again? Oh no, I'm talking out of my ass. Disregard.
Man.
Like I said, it's been such a long time since I've seen this version. It's not even funny.
I'll admit, this movie version does have a lot crisper, brighter, cleaner animation.
But I'll admit, I prefer the OVAs.
This is added.
Yeah. No, this isn't. Yeah.
No, no, you're right. It's not. I think some of the like zoom in scenes are. Now, normally you probably wouldn't feel it, but because of those bracelets, he's probably feeling the touch because
Yeah.
it's a
He's getting
brainwash.
Ready Player One straight up. Now, let's face it. If something like that happened on planet nowadays, people would be losing their mother loving minds right about now at 300 hits per second.
Yeah, the chip, high tech brain.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, I remember this song on the soundtrack. When I first heard it, it's like banger, banger, banger. Then all of a sudden, this weird intro started up, and it just was so disconcerting. Especially in a Bose surround sound system, it was even more weird.
Oh my god!
Yeah, talk about a callback to like the original.
Oh yeah, no, this was in it. This
Mm-hmm.
was in the OVA.
Oh, voices.
Poo.
Hey, yeah. Oh, okay. This dude here in this scene reminds me of what was it? Death Machine, which was like a sci-fi film. Why can't I remember the guy's name? Uh, he played Chucky in Child's Play. He was Wormtongue in the Hobbit series, in
Oh
the
yeah.
Lord of the Rings. Brad Dourif. He reminds me of the character he played in that movie. And that's another thing about the Macross series, which kind of makes it separate from most shows out there, is the soundtrack isn't just for background noise and everything. Again, the music, the singers, and stuff like that are very valid parts of the plots. I mean, we have Sharon Apple here, we have Lyndon May in the original series, stuff like that. And with Macross 7, the main character, though he wasn't my favorite character, they were part of a band that had the weirdest controls for their fighters ever.
This is add-in because the Samu didn't go out at night when this happened.
No,
Whoa! He is a kid at heart, and he is drunk as fuck.
no, I think that's just him.
But yeah, this part is added.
Yeah, this is definitely not from the OVA.
My dog's snoring. Whoa!
Oh yeah, let's say bow chicka bow wow. Well, I'm getting some buffering over here, and it's cleared up. Boobs.
Yep, and butt. Yeah, he was asleep in his dorm on the military base when this happened.
Yeah, but yeah, I remember she does actually start the fire.
Mm-hmm. Overloads the sockets.
Yeah, I remember watching this for the first time, and just the idea of what she's doing just creeped me out because, like,
This is add in too because I never zoomed in on circuitry like this.
yeah, it just started the fire.
Yep. AI imaging.
Yep. Oh, it is funny that okay, in this advanced future, they still have these big ass screens for their computers.
Yes.
but that's like talking shit about aliens and the technology that they use.
Well, they
You
have
know, so
holographic projection too.
yeah,
Zentradi missile.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he's injured, and he's like, nope, don't care.
He's football carrying her.
And there it is. I mean, what a fucking badass!
Yep, he is a badass.
Yeah, he's just like it's but a scratch, no biggie. And I love how the bandages are essentially just like medical grade duct tape.
Yeah, Omega 1.
Yeah, this is all out of whack.
I get it. Alright, so they make it to where he crashed it again, or the first time, and it's being
Yep.
repaired for that. Because this was the part of the ending of OVA 1. And this is where you have where he rescues Gold and then forces the plane into the ground.
Yep. Well, at least that section was when he was in the VF-11.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, okay, they're still going. Yeah, the cuts and stuff like that in the movie are
Because
jarring.
after the whole fire thing, that's when they had the firefight.
Yeah, they actually were fighting each other, so to speak. Yeah, so what we're seeing right now compared to the continuity of the OVAs, this is like OVA 2 or something. I mean, we are
This is the end of OVA 1.
yeah.
Plus, we also missed the whole entire, Osamu getting to Eden.
Yeah, where he was yanking, banking, and cranking in the VF-11 that brought him there.
Now, I'll put it to like this: this animation is really cool. It's the same studio, so this missile scene right here, I believe, is Bone Studio, or the people who work in Bone Studio now is the ones who made this way back in the day, because the same artists, the same techniques were used in Eureka 7 for the lasers in the show, the tracking lasers. It's the same effect.
And these, I think they in the OVAs they actually mentioned how these are new missiles. These are medium range, high maneuverability missiles.
Mm-hmm. Now, the one thing I like about YF-21, it really shows off the characteristics of the pilots, because
Mm-hmm.
the regular Vertex look like mechanized robots, but the YF-21, when it's in its battle mode, looks like a pod from the Zentradi.
It's, if I remember, the design was actually based off of the female power armor.
Yeah.
Yep, and here's where he snaps.
And it loses the link.
Mm-hmm. And that's why you're glad that there's also manual controls in that sucker.
Yep. Back online.
Mm-hmm. Yep, here it is.
Yep. Caused him to wreck. Okay. It's like, no, this was supposed to be the fucking firefight. Well, he's in the hospital like this.
Yeah, it's again with the way that this edited compared to the OVAs, it's almost jarring
Does that
how
mean
some of the events take place.
Does that mean we're not gonna get the firefight between the YF-19 YF-21 until later, and like what we see in the end of OVA 3 and beginning of OVA 4?
I I don't know. Oh, are we buffering?
Yeah, we're buffering.
Okay.
I'll let that regain composure here for a minute. We're only halfway through this too. We're not even halfway through this, and it's like so misplaced and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean some of this is like okay, we're in the beginning, and then some things that are occurring that you're like, we should be nearing like the 3/4 mark.
mm-hmm. And this is like episode 2. In the episode 2.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. All right, let's try this again. Ooh. Yeah, the internet blinked out. Is what happened.
Oh no.
I'll get it. Give me a second.
So everyone watching, you enjoying the behind the scenes of make this shit work? Here we go.
Yeah, let me get this back up. Okay. And I think he said something about I'll get him for wrecking my YF-21. No, YF-19, excuse me.
Now they haven't shown it, but for everyone who wants to know, we know the 21 has the brain interface. The 19, the pilot compartment, is an entire panoramic cockpit.
Yeah.
So if he looks down at his feet, he's looking at what's actually underneath his aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the reasons why it was difficult for the pilots to pilot this thing, because
Vertigo.
it was very easy to lose where they were.
That and Vertigo.
Yeah.
And it's actually really off-putting too in the movie, and it's really off-putting because we don't have the interaction between Osamu and Mune that we were supposed to have back in the OVA to this point.
Right.
Because Mune gets the phone call that there was an accident, not just wake up. Yeah, it's like all over the place. But this is also from the perspective of watching OVAs first. So watching the movie first, I don't know.
Well, even at least for me, even watching the movie, certain scenes, the way that they're set up, they don't really make sense.
I can agree with some of the cuts, but the other cuts just don't make sense because it's like it doesn't show the YF-19 getting wrecked. We see him in the YF-19 flying around, and then it got wrecked. Well, how'd it get wrecked? It was being repaired from the last pilot, and then he was piloting the other plane. Then this happened, not this right here, but he gets wrecked, and then he flies off the handle at Bowman. Oh, there it is.
They're the big bird.
And then they get the YF-21, YF-19 back, and that's when he makes the drawing and stuff like that, and they go through and do the tests, or start to do the tests. And as they're going through, then they have the firefight. And then after the firefight, he gets into this. And then after this, he really gets his head in the game and the program for the YF-19 to push it. And then they both lose.
Yeah, because there's a third project
by Macross Compendium, the same company that's making Sharon Apple and stuff like that, the AI fighter. It's kind of tied to the same thing.
We're just now seeing.
Right now. General Galaxy, what was his name? General Galaxy, I think. Now, I always like this because you look at him. Okay. You look at him, and I think he's also the same one that was in the cockpit of the Macross in the movie too. But if you actually look at him, he is the commander of the Hercules in Macross II.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's the same design. Now, Osamu's hurt. We've seen him tank a door 2 times. And he's also half Zentradi. And Osamu's holding his own.
Oops. Yeah, if I remember the dub in the OVA correctly, there was actually a line that Myung calls Isamu and it's like, you're always so stupid and reckless, or something like that. And he goes, well, it's kind of hard to be smart and reckless.
Yeah. I like the lightsaber effect.
I was just going to say, am I the only one who heard a lightsaber go off when he turned that thing up, opened that thing up?
It's a light lit up umbrella, and it looks like a lightsaber, and it has a lightsaber sound effect. See you bitches, I'm out.
I think it was also in the OVA when he first pilots the VF-19. I mean the YF-19.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, something. Piloting like that'll get you killed. This, that, and the other. And he basically tells Squirt to take a hike, and goes, "Hey, you with the bow." And she kind of like, "What?" He goes, "So you want to go ride with the late great Isamu Dyson?" And then it leads into the events when they're on the motorcycle.
Don't let anyone know about this. There it is. The
Yep,
Space War Armistice 30 years anniversary.
they said the thing. Oh, how can you tell it's evil? Oh, I don't know. Call it a hunch.
AirPods.
Yep.
Oh, that music.
Voices.
This is Yoko Kanno, and this is how she made her big break. And I love this song. I love this song.
Yeah. Like I said, the music alone is what helps make most Macross memorable.
Well, I mean, Macross has always been about music.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even Macross
You,
2, they have the mid-May attack,
yeah. Well,
which
and
is
the best thing I can say to people, because people ask, "What's Macross about?" Love, friendship, and music.
yeah, and that's up closer towards the beginning of the show, if I remember correctly, at least the airborne part.
The Ghost X9. I do feel sorry for Four Eyes.
Yeah.
See, I always didn't like the romance arc in Macross. I mean, I get it. I get what the show is doing, but really, on the personality of the characters and what's happened, it really seems like it's forced. Because I really do feel like Osamu and I can't remember her fucking name, but the blonde should have really ended up together.
Agreed. They definitely seemed like a better match than him and Young.
Yep. Oh, here we go. We're on off.
Yep. And there
There
she
she
is.
is. SDF1 Macross. We still have an hour left.
I know, right?
And I remember, like, the OVAs were like 39 minutes apiece.
Yeah, right around 40, 45, something like that.
And this is kind of like the start of the third OVA.
Also, I forgot to mention, both the 19 and 21 are equipped with an active stealth system,
Mm-hmm.
and both of them also have uh, full generators that can be put on them,
Yeah.
so they can actually do the full jumps and
Oh,
everything
I
like that. So
love
they can
this.
basically FTL.
I love animation scenes of like startups and stuff like that.
Hmm.
The electronics, the startups, the mechanics, everything that they show in this movie is fucking perfect. I love it. This is what I love to see. Oh, what is it? Are you dreaming? The dog's dreaming.
Yeah, I heard. And there it goes.
Talk about psychedelic.
Oh, I know. It's like Doctor Who on acid, and I'm talking the good Doctor Who. Oops.
Brain splattered. And if I remember right, in the English dub, his voice was his voice of Spike, wasn't it?
Uh,
I can't remember the voice actor's name now.
yeah, I can't either.
I
Yep,
love
the
this
Macross
anthem.
anthem.
UN Spacey. Was that Min May? It almost looked like Min May.
I've seen enough hentai to know how this is gonna end.
Oh yeah. And funny thing is, the fiber optic cables.
Yeah, it's like, how do those things have like the ability to do that? Oh, right, robotechnology, aka Macross magic.
Technically, Sharon would be an AI of Mune
Yeah,
because she imprinted off of Mune.
yeah, as she's explaining.
That song was not in the OVA. Yeah, this song was not in the OVA. Neither was these visuals.
Yeah, that don't remember. So that thing looks
No.
like an angel from Eva.
I was just gonna say, that's Evangelion right there.
I mean, come on, they've got basically you crucified. Such as like, yeah, we're in the Eva territory now.
That thing even looks like an angel.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like something from Xena. Roz, oh fuck, I can't say the name of it. But you know what I'm talking about.
I think I know what you're talking about. I have no idea how to freaking pronounce it.
I do like the add-in visuals.
Mm-hmm.
It makes we sacrifice the story and we clip and splice it in, but we get better visuals and a better ending. And I really feel like that you can splice the OVA in this end to make a much better, perfect, coherent show. I really feel like you could do that.
Yeah, easily.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Information high.
Yep.
Armed units.
All sorts of shit.
Looks a part of my skills.
Yep.
I like how he just puts himself out.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna go to sleep now.
Yeah, we're just gonna destroy half of us defensive network just to come barging in.
Yeah. Now, if I remember on soundtrack, this is actually like an 8-minute song.
Wow, it is. Wow, I love these visuals. This is much better than the OVA.
Yep. Now he's falling out of control. That says something about how well that frickin' fighter's made. They're going through reentry uncontrolled,
Yeah.
and they don't burn up.
That looked kind of flat right there.
Hmm.
The image.
Yeah. Pretty light. Did we freeze again? Oh, oh, looks like it's just me.
No, we're still going.
Sparks?
What? This is new. I like these little add-in scenes. Ooh. And so it's such whenever you do stuff online, the internet crashes at times. It's the AI. Yeah, it's taking over. It's
It's Skynet. They don't want us
it's
talking
no, it's AIM.
about their love child.
It's
Hey,
AIM.
that too.
It's AIM. It's AI, Mr. Medical. He's fucking with me. All right. So we're gonna go back into this and start now. Because according to KG, this is where it froze for him.
This is where it froze for me.
Yeah, he's like, ooh. Yeah, just rip the shit off.
In all honesty, has anyone ever actually tried to do that?
This
Oh,
is an
what the hell
add-in
just
scene.
happened?
What, this? Huh?
It freaked out again on me. There's like 1 minute they're talking to.
Oh, it just
I
flashed
said,
this.
"Do you want to watch the stream?" Yeah.
This is a cool add-in. Because we get
Mm-hmm.
more from the Colonel. And it kind of explains his mentality why he treated Gold and Isamu.
Guess who?
Now I know this much. This fight scene between Isamu and Gold and the Phantom Fighter is better in the movie from what I hear than what the OVA is. So, you remember?
Not off the top of my head. It's probably one of those once it starts happening, I'll be like, "Oh shit, I remember this." Chaff, nice use. Yeah, the YF-19 had a single head cannon, whereas the production models either had the single and one on each side of the head, like the old VF1s. And I think the command version had 4 cannons, like the VF1S.
Mm-hmm. I remember that was a go chase a woman's ass.
Mm-hmm. Okay, if I remember,
Of guns.
video game. Yeah, if I remember, he was like, you know, something about, buying lunch, and he's like, I
Yeah,
always bought you lunch, and in the dubbed.
you made me pay 14 times.
Oh yeah,
And I just now noticed this too. The YM19's head looks like the Guyver's head.
yeah, it really does. Now that you mention it. Oh, that's right. During this fight, they're actually wearing the fast packs.
Yep. Destroying the city.
Whatever. They're only probably going supersonic. And as we saw, the 19 has replaceable magazines, whereas if I remember, the 21 actually had two rifles that had fixed internal, if I remember correctly.
Later after this, we won't show on the video for everyone to see, but um I recommend everyone pulling up Eureka 7 Pocket Full of Rainbows and the final fight within that one. And that reminds me of this. I want to say they took inspiration from this movie for that movie. And Gold realizes he's the one that assaulted Mune.
Well,
Jealousy,
attacked her. They did not assault her. Probably a little bit of both.
just the details on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
Petrosaur.
Yeah. And this has always been something. I love that shot.
Yes, this was a really beautiful shot. The detailing, the shattering, the glare
Mm-hmm.
effects, just the absolute detail. And you gotta remember, this was hand drawn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was cell walking. If you look at it, you can tell it's cell walking, but it's still hand drawn. Yoni?
But the one thing about Macross I always liked was how you had aircraft that turned into robots, and you can see that. Whereas with like Gundam, you have what was first off robots turning into quote unquote aircraft.
Yeah.
Because with most of these, if you look at them, you wouldn't be able to tell that these were
What a
whatever.
romance.
You wouldn't be able to tell that these turned into robots.
Yeah. Those are quick reflexes.
Oh hell yeah!
Close call.
I'll clip the wing like that. Now, if I also remember, one of the things that makes these two units unique is they have fighter scale pinpoint barrier system.
Which is something you don't hear or see unless you watch the Robotech series.
Right.
Turn the safety off.
Yep. Time to run. And this is where Sharon goes full on yandere. Yeah, that's a straight up oh shit moment. I don't care
yeah,
who you are.
yeah, today is just not her day.
No, this whole film has not been her day.
Yeah. Now she's going badass bitch mode. Uh-oh. We know what this is. The
Yep.
anti-gravity generators. Oh, I love this song. Subai.
This bit right here with that music, this is very Ghost in the Shell.
Yes, it is. Well, Yaku Kano. Same kind of shattering, same kind of art form with the music. Yes, it really is.
There's the armed.
Just the sheer scale
Mm-hmm.
of this machine.
Yeah, because if I remember, the Macross herself is like a mile, so like 1,500 kilometers or something like that, or 1.5 kilometers. I'm
Um, if I remember right.
sorry. And the mastermind jumping, who caused all this falling, kind of jumping off, is reminiscent of the first Pat Labor animated movie,
Yes. The,
Iichi Hoba.
so the dimensions of the Macross in this movie. The length is 1,210 meters wide. No, length is 1,210 meters length, 496 meters wide, and 312 meters across.
So she's just shy of a mile tall.
Yes. 18 million metric tons.
She's a heavy girl.
So yeah, it's a lot of metal flying up in the air.
Yeah, that's a lot of raw firepower just flying there.
Controlled by a psychotic AI.
Yeah. Speaking of raw firepower.
Now this is an iconic shot right here.
This used to be my wallpaper for a while, back in the day.
Yeah, just throw a table at it. You didn't get it.
Well, I think she got it. She just didn't hit it hard enough.
Which it doesn't make sense because, okay. Well, and I'll explain when it comes up.
Does she say it?
What's that?
Oh, I just want to. Does she say the line? That's it. That was the line. He loves flying more than he loves you. Oh,
Release the limiter. Now, this part here. Gold goes out like a bitch in the OVA. Still cool, but to me, he goes out like a bitch. This hits harder. Because I've seen this part in the movie. Because I remember right in the OVA, he crashes into it. He kamikazes
yeah. I don't think it. Yeah, I don't think it goes into depth of what he does, like we're about to see. And that's the thing about the 21 I liked is the limbs are not a necessary part of the aircraft. Because as we saw, he just jettisoned them and he's still kicking ass. Ah, yeah. Bowman, you freaking stud muffin. Does it show it? Yep, there it is.
See, in the OVA, they crash, but in this one, he bounces off of it. That goes off into space.
I think it still shows it in space. This is still in the OVA. Yeah, I think this part still is in the OVA. Just the extent of the physical damage that it took for him to get it, I think was not in it. Again, if I'm remembering correctly.
And Samu's pissed now. Yeah, that'd be freaky.
I want to know is why is this dude packing heat?
He's a civilian.
Yeah, if he knew he was going to go in a mission like this, why is he packing heat? Because if they succeed, they're going to get arrested, and he's going to be resisting arrest. And if they fail, they're dead. I love that.
Ejectocito, cuz! That's a hell of a sight.
Yeah. And I love how everything is hands-on throttle and stick.
Yes. Traditional stick and throttle. There's add-ins on this one.
Mm-hmm. Now he just looks he's stoned. Which isn't that far off. How's he dodging all those buildings?
Yeah, it's and in the background. They never had the giant feather, I don't think.
I think they did. Because that whole the giant bird and everything that's always been a recurring thing in their friendship.
Woo!
Thank you, Gerwalk mode.
Headbutts the fucking screen.
That's a lot of firepower.
Imagine if she activated a fucking cannon.
Oh god.
I don't feel so good, guys.
Yeah, I'd be like, and I need some migraine medication and a nap. Cause damn.
I like how it just gently goes back down instead of just falls like a fucking rock.
Yeah.
Now, at this point, you're thinking, okay, it's just some immune and stuff like that. You gotta remember, there was a concert going on. That entire fucking stadium was filled with people that are probably just now coming to.
and none of those rounds that were fired at Isamu hit anybody.
This is adding.
Yeah, I think so.
It is. To make you feel for the damn machine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
this is one of the things that makes Macross Plus different again than most of the other series out there is when you think about it, the antagonist, in this case Sharon, would be considered a sympathetic villain
yes.
because she didn't ask for any of this. That one moron made her that way. And what she did, as she just said, she did for love.
Yeah.
So, it goes back to like you said, the whole love, music, friendship is like the basis of a lot of the Macross themes.
I love this shot.
Oh yeah.
And this is another one too, because we don't get them on the flight deck. He flies off.
Did he? Because I
Yes, he
remember
did.
him
He flies.
saying something to her.
Yeah, he flies off. As his flying off, it comes up to you, pioneers. He never lands. See,
No,
dedicate.
this shot is from the OVA.
No, it's not. Because he
Because I
flies.
remember the two of them.
Because he flies off, and then they showcase this Macross as it was, and then pops that up, and then it ends. We'll pull it up.
Yeah, because for some reason, I remember him teasing her about the song. Yoko Kano. Oh, look, Yoko Kano. There's Yoko Kano again. Still going after the Yokos. Information High was not done by Yoko Kano.
It's still a good song.
Oh, no, like I said, it's one of my top 5 of all time.
What did they obey? I think it had this visual aspect. Yeah, because it didn't show. Yeah, it didn't show that either.
No, I don't remember that.
Because it went straight to credits, black screen credits, and then gold still up in space. I'm pretty
Being
sure
all
that's. I'm pretty
dead
sure
and
that's
flying.
it. Yeah. So let me back out of this and go back in. And it's gonna be just a second.
Oh, excuse me.
And Macross Plus and Dub. And I'm gonna bring this back up. It was. Oh wait, I brought up Dub 1. Yep, 1. I thought it was in. All right, there we go.
Yeah, that was kind of a bass backwards way of putting things.
Eh, eh. I'm on ways.
Oh my god, manga. I remember them.
Yeah. Because
Oh, no, you were.
hang on. Because it goes through this, and I'm glad we watched the movie version because this looks so flat. Because she gets up, she sees a Samu in the sky, shining the light down, and he goes up and flies off, and then it pans out the Macross dedicated to you pioneers, and then it cuts credits. That's how I remember the OVA.
Well, considering the last shot was the Macross. Yeah, you're probably right. I just probably got confused, which is entirely possible. I know, KG getting confused. Who the fuck would have thought that would happen?
Mm-hmm. Anyways, yeah, she gets happy that he's okay. He flies off. It doesn't have the scene with Miyun and Sharon. It cuts
Yeah.
to the sunset coming up with the Macross, pulling out
Yep.
like
You were right.
this, dedicated to you pioneers, to you our future pioneers, and then
Yep.
straight into the credits. That's why I think the OVA's better. Not the OVA, the movie's better. And when it comes to the goal, I remember they just have them blow up.
Okay. Yeah. Bang, 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 bang.
Then he flies off, beelines for the ghost, and just blow up. That's it.
Yeah, fucking hell. You're
I,
right.
like I said, the OVA really undercuts a lot of the impact scenes that the movie has. Well, I think
Right.
that's why I think the movie's better.
If we could take, like you said, splice the movie and the OVA together in a real succinct way, I think it'd be a better viewing.
Yes, it would. I really think it would. It'd be more memorable. It'd be longer, and you're not going, huh? What's?
Yeah, it's like this seems disjointed. And like I said at the beginning, it has been 20 plus years since I've seen this. So the fact that I remember anything, people should give me credit.
People should give you credit.
Well, it's not like the time somebody said, "Hey, we're gonna do a show. It's gonna be a surprise. I'm gonna put it on mute. I'm gonna mute myself, and you tell me what it is." And I'm like, "Hey, isn't this Lupin the Third?" And there was a lot of flipping off, and this son of a bitch, and so forth. So it does work, just randomly.
It works just randomly. It's random access memory, randomly.
Very. In this case, it's VRAM, very random access.
Yeah, and I'm just looking around for stuff. I'm on a showcase and stuff, but go ahead and just tell me your thoughts about the movie.
Well, like I've said, the Macross Plus period end of story, I absolutely love it. The movie is a little too randomly cut and pasted, especially if you've seen the OVAs. Things that, okay, this makes sense for it to be here. And then it's like, well, we got this going on here. You're kind of like, wait, what? Huh? Excuse me? But yeah, visually, the movie is definitely an upgrade. The music, everyone's already heard my tirade about that. It's absolutely amazing. And anyone who says otherwise, well, you're wrong. And that's the end of the discussion.
You're wrong in the
Yeah,
discussion.
you're just wrong. I don't care what your choice of music is. If you don't like that music from that show, then you're wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, but you know what? You're wrong. Um, I was always loved the fact that Sharon didn't start out as the villain. The villain who was the villain was the chump who fell off the SDF-1, and he deserved it.
Yeah. All right, now we're gonna. I'm trying to find a scene within it. There's two scenes in this movie I want to see.
Stop. Hammer time.
Yeah, it wasn't it. Hang on.
Now, between the two of us, Sparky's the only one who's actually watched Eureka 7. I have not.
Yeah.
However, I don't think you've seen Armor Trooper Votom, so we still got one up on each other here and there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fuck. I don't know. I'll have to look it up on YouTube. I know it. I know it said something about it.
Oh, about the Mega Road?
Oh. Yeah. I don't know where it's at exactly, but I know this much. It's there's a scene. Oh, here we go.
Unlimited power.
This fight scene right here. You see why I say they took inspiration from it?
Oh yeah, even down to the coloring.
Uh, but yeah, I had to look for on YouTube. But yeah, I remember for the simple fact that they mention let's see, Erica 7, maybe Mega Road, and I'm probably never gonna find it on YouTube. So I'll find it eventually and show you one day. But anyways, yeah, no, Macross Plus really set forth a standard that a lot of different studios and animators just never could really follow up on. There's a lot of good attempts and a lot of good shows afterwards, but even to this day, there's very few shows that match up to the quality and kind of like the storytelling and just the nostalgia of what Macross has.
Yeah, it's such a good show. The characters, when you start to, it's like, well, I don't like this guy because he's kind of a schmuck. Then later on, you're like, okay, maybe this guy's not that bad, or maybe this person, they they grow on you in a positive way.
Yeah,
And even though they didn't show a lot of them, but the action sequences are just fucking top notch.
yeah, and to this day, I've not seen a movie or show or anything even come close. Oh, here we go. TV tropes. Where was it? Where was it? Showed it right here. In the movie, there's a spaceship called Melgorode. An event in the pilot happens. Not there. Oh wait. Shout out. Here we go. Probably down here, further down. Yeah, in the movie, there's a spaceship called Megaroad, which references a bunch of other stuff. It doesn't tell me the specific clip, but I know it's in the movie. I know it's referenced.
It's there somewhere.
Yeah, I just don't know where in this gobbledygook because it's when a telling of a it's just gonna bug me. It's gonna bug me.
Well, who knows? Maybe we'll have to get back together and do you remember love, and you can have it queued up then. Hey Sparks,
Hey, what?
I don't want to be that guy,
Yeah.
but
Anyways, we gotta get going. Anyways, but thank you everyone who came out and watched the movie with us, or what you can of what I cut out and what I cover over because of copyright and YouTube and bullshit like that.
and boobs.
And boobs. But anyways, thank you for watching. We gotta do more stuff like this.
Yeah. One way or another, we gotta do. It's been too fucking long since we've even just hung out and done anything.
Yeah.
Way too long.
Yeah. So with that, for anyone watching, no schedule. Don't know when I gotta do this again. But we'll do it again eventually.
We will
So
do it again.
so with that, take care everyone.
Have a good night, everybody.